Ash here, and welcome back to Behind the Screens. This weekend, War for the Planet of the Apes is the one to watch, and today I'm going to recap everything leading up to War.
I did not start this war. But I will finish it.
The Planet of the Apes franchise has been around since 1968, as in almost 50 years.
It's amazing, and the reason that it's been around this long is because they're very intelligent films, as well as being grand entertainment. You know, they mean a lot to people because they are such a perfect metaphor for our times. You know, and as the years go by, and the world turns and events happen, there's always a new story to tell.
He's right. The original movie franchise pushed out 5 movies between 1968 and 1973, followed by 2 TV shows in the 70s that weren't particularly successful. In 2001, after a mess of behind-the-scenes effort to get it off the ground, a reboot was released, directed by Tim Burton and starring Mark Wahlberg. Unfortunately, audiences didn't love it, so no sequel. But finally, in 2011, after wanting a reboot to work so bad, we finally get our first movie of this current trilogy, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and it was really good. Matt Reeves, who directed the next 2 movies, had this to say about why this franchise works.
I really think that the advances in the performance capture technology enables the audience to identify with apes. And I think that there's a really uncanny power to that, which is that you go to the movies and you think you're going to relate most to whoever the human characters are, but actually the most human character is Caesar. And Andy Serkis's soul just vibrates to that character.
Before you see War this weekend, I'm going to run down the most bare-bones recaps of the first 2 Planet of the Apes, just as a refresher, but you do have to see them. You just do. So Caesar, played by Andy Serkis, is the main character in every movie. It's almost easier for me to define the movie by the guy who played the human. So the first one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, is the one with James Franco. Here, Caesar is banished to a life of captivity, but eventually revolts and finds freedom along with the other apes. During the mid-credits scene, we learn there's a massive virus spreading around the globe. So the 2014 sequel, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, aka the one with Jason Clarke, picks up 10 years later when the virus has dramatically dwindled the human population. Meanwhile, the apes have formed their own situation and they have their own mess of problems. During this movie, the tension between humans and apes is building through a series of betrayals and miscommunications. And now, in 2017's A War for the Planet of the Apes, you guessed it, the war is here.
Years from now, your children will ask you, what did you do in the greatest war? And you can tell them, I fought to protect this world.
This takes place only 2 years after Dawn, and this time our human is Woody Harrelson, and he's the antagonist, hell-bent on finishing the war and wiping out the apes. So that's everything you need to know. I hope you enjoyed this mini refresher. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave comments on what you'd like to see in future episodes. Until next time, guys.